I'm Astrid and welcome to Wattle and Wool, my knitting show on YouTube. So I've got quite a bit to show you today and talk about. I haven't been on here in a couple of weeks and I can't wait to get started. So I'm going to talk to you about some current event stuff and then show you a whole pile of things that I've been doing and making and getting in the mail. Talk to you about was current events and what's going on. Now, I am a very privileged, very white Australian woman who is middle class and has been afforded a lot of amazing privileges and an abundance in my life that many other people don't have. Both my parents were the first in their generations to go to university, and it was expected of me and my sisters that we would also be able to use that privilege and that freedom to access a further education that many people don't get a chance to do. On that note, actually, the Australian government is looking at cutting funding to arts degrees, and I find that so scary that the critical thinking degrees, the degrees that teach you how to look at what government is doing and name and shame, basically, and say, hey, no, that's actually not okay, that these are the degrees that are being cut, and I have a massive problem with that. But further than that, bigger than that, on a wider issue than that, is what's been going on in the world of racism and looking at privilege. So I, as an Australian, I'm not comfortable talking about an American system. I am not there. I don't share their struggles. I don't share their walks of life, their journeys, their anything. And so I am not going to comment because it's not my place and I don't feel right about doing it. There is more than enough different resources and people and books, and I highly encourage people to go out there and do their wider reading and think about it. If you are American, vote. As an Australian who has to vote, as a teacher who teaches about voting, vote. The power in one individual, in one voice, is immense. But I am not American, and so talking about the American structure is just... it's not what I feel comfortable doing. Also, we have enough issues in Australia. Some people that I have been following, I kind of wanted to, I know there's a lot of people out there that are amazing and that are very well known, that are doing really good things in social media and public awareness spaces, along with so many books and speakers and public figures. I kind of wanted to pull out some people that I haven't seen promoted as much. So these are kind of alternative ones or other ones additional, because otherwise the list gets too big. But these are some of the other people that I've been following and watching and listening to and learning from. So I wanted to call out some of the names, and of course the names will be down below. But I've got a list of some of these people, so I just wanted to read them out. So on Instagram, a lady called Yanda Woman. She also has an amazing YouTube podcast. Definitely go hit her up, watch her stuff. She's amazing. And so Melinda, she's been quite active at looking at Australian, what's going on in Australia. And she's been really like Australian events and the way that I guess racism shows up in Australia as well. And so she's been amazing to follow and look at. There's also on TikTok, because I love TikTok. This is what I watch at 11 o'clock when I can't sleep. So there is Pnuks, Pnuks, and he is either Māori or Pacific Islander, Samoan, something like that. And he talks a lot about racism in Australia. He's amazing. There's at Vintage Chocolate, and he has talked about some of the atrocities that are going on, especially because of the Victorian lockdown. and Meissa, meissa.com.au. And she is amazing. She's this beautiful Indigenous woman who has just makeup. Like, it's fabulous. And she signal boosts and she talks about things and she dismantles racism left, right, and centre. And she is just so wonderful. So I highly recommend hitting her up and having a look at what she does. She talks about Australian Indigenous rights and events and dispels a lot of myths. And I just think she's incredible. Some other people on TikTok that I love as well. There's one guy called 8, like EIGHT .great.danes. So 8 Great Danes. He is so intellectual and sometimes it makes my brain hurt because, like I said, I watch it at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night. But some of the points that he raises are just amazing and he's very eloquent and very put together in the way that he comes across. And then one more personal favourite is Online Kine. So Kine is a glamorous drag queen who just is so amazing, and she is pretty sure she is her preferred term when she's in drag. But she is a mathematician and statistician, and so she looks at dispelling myths of stats and news reports using numbers, and it's just fascinating to learn the better ways of looking at stats and to think critically, and she's really encouraging people to do so. And it's beautiful. So those are some people who are a little bit left of centre, a little bit less promoted in the public, but definitely people that I would encourage you to look at, as well as everything else that is the right thing to do. So part of why it's taken me so long to talk about is because like I said, as a white Australian woman, I don't really know how to say it and what to say and how to do it the best way. And I wanted to make sure that I was doing it the right way. But also because I don't want this to be a fad. I don't want this to be a trend. So part of when I set up Wattle and Wool, one of the first things I made sure that I was doing was I found some charities that I donate to regularly through all the proceeds that I get from any of my designs. So 20% goes for any design with like a Latvian focus. So I find that I design either from a very Australian or a very Latvian focus, and anything from a Latvian focus I donate 20%. It was 10 and I felt like it wasn't enough, so I've raised it up to 20 to a charity which is actually British, but it works with Latvian women and children in some horrible situations, and so that one is called Giving for Latvia. Again, all the details down below. And I just find that is the best one that I've found so far that does a lot of things I believe in. The other one that I donate to from the Australian focus is the Smith Family Foundation, and they actually work with disadvantaged youth in supporting them going to school. So they either discount or subsidise or sometimes buy for and provide scholarships for the school books or school uniforms, sometimes school fees for a lot of kids who otherwise wouldn't have had an opportunity. So I'm really passionate about these two things. There are other charities. One of them is called AIME, AIME. I think it's Australian Indigenous or Aboriginal and Indigenous Mentoring Education. To double check that. And they do a lot of work with the Indigenous youth as well in the school system. So being a teacher is something that I'm very passionate about, and I want to be able to make a difference. So this is something that I think does. So that was a lot, bit of a rant. I'm sorry if I wasn't as eloquent as I should be, but it is something that I feel very strongly about. Something else that has arisen is the Ravelry issue. So I found that releasing a pattern during the Ravelry difficulties was not easy. So for those of you who aren't aware, which I think the whole world is by now, Ravelry changed up their interface and people by now have had major difficulties with it. So I'm not wearing my glasses right now, but I actually do wear glasses for most things. So I'm fine short distance, and then long I can't see. I should not be allowed to drive without my glasses. And so I stand at the back of my room and I can't read my writing on the whiteboard, which my students will say because of my handwriting, but it's also because my eyesight is limited. So it means that I do get eye strain easier. I actually have glasses which have UV blocking because I find that light affects my eyes quite a bit. So I personally have found that I've struggled with the Ravelry new interface. I've found that the contrast between the white background and the black words, I really struggle to read them, and I feel like they're floating instead of being solid, and it makes it a lot more difficult for me to interact. I'm not usually a big Ravelry user just because I forget and I am terrible at uploading my projects on my yarn, and I do need to improve on that, and that was a goal for me. And then I'm currently on school holidays, so I was planning on using these holidays time to get back up, and then this was all changed, which made it a bit harder. So I know that Ravelry has said that they're working on it and they have been doing some surveys. I also heard from Hohi Locatelli's podcast, again, I'll comment all that below, that she was a part of the beta group, which actually tested it before everything happened. So I do know that they've had testing and they've been doing all of that, but I don't, she said that she wasn't affected, but I know that I have been, and that I am prone to headaches and migraines. So after reading a lot of the other comments and then finding that my eyes were straining very quickly after being online, I just closed off the website. So what that means for me is I'm still releasing on Ravelry. I do find Ravelry is really, it does support its designers. I do have to say that. Any of the fees I have to pay are so minimal, and it is a wonderful website, and it's such a community hub, like it's a center of the community, which I think is why there's such a backlash and an issue. So I have joined Lovecrafts, and I'm working with them at the moment to get all my patterns uploaded and ready to go. I've got 5 now. 5! That's so cool. So I'm getting there, and then I've also gone into PayHip. So you can find me at payhip.com/Wattle and Wool, and my designs are on there as well. So that's exciting, and it was a bit frantic to find a new way to be able to do it last minute, but that's how life goes. So yes, I love Ravelry. I'm a bit sad that they haven't changed quickly for people who need it, but I still love them and I think they're amazing. Okay, so that's all that. Let's show you what I've been getting. So first up, I wanted to show you, I haven't really talked to you very much about what I've been getting recently because, especially for Knit Crate, it comes so late. I mean, it was late already, and then all this COVID stuff has just made it so much more later. So I just found that there wasn't any point me being like, look what I got, because you would have been like, yeah, I got it 2 months ago, you're late. But I still find it fun to talk about, so I'm going to. Okay, so first up yes, we'll try and do it in an order, which is not in order, but that's okay. So some of the Knit Crate stuff that I got, I don't even remember what month this was, because it was a few months ago. It might have been March or April. Not sure. But it is, oh, that's very pink in that light. There we go. There, that is. It's definitely not that bright pink. I was trying to block out the sun again. I haven't learnt from last time. It is like a sugary, dark pink, not this highlighter pink that it is currently showing me. What can I use? Is that blocking out? There we go. Yeah, that's a bit more accurate. So this is a sparkly yarn that is pink. It's not my favorite. I know you're shocked to hear me say that something that Knit Crate has put out is not my favorite. I feel like I bag on them a lot. I've got some amazing things from Knit Crate. Lovecraft, Knit Crate, it's all in my head. Like this is the is it Love and Hope or Hope and Happiness or Love and Dreams? It's a something. Sorry, my phone's going off. Which I got. It's a silk and merino blend, I think. It's absolutely beautiful. I got it from them a few years ago. And so this, I do know that they make amazing things. This is actually one of my current projects. So I do know how beautiful that some of the things are. Some of the yarns are, some of their support in getting new designers out there or new yarn dyers. So I have a lot of support and love for them, but I'm also very open about what I don't like, as you know. So this, way less than hot pink, is called Sugared Sport. It's in their Euro yarn or Uri yarn. I think it's one of their house brands. Which I'm a bit sad about. I really loved it when Knit Crate was getting other people in. So they were getting other dyers or other whoever, and it was less of their franchise, more of them collating other people. And I prefer that. But, I mean, they've been doing it for so long now. They definitely have a good thing going. This one is very sparkly, as you can see. Where am I? There we go. Well, that's it. There, that's about the right colour. It's very sparkly, almost too much for me. I don't know what I would make out of this. So this is in the colourway Ruby. It is 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 10% stellina. It is 300 yards or 274 metres over 100 grams. It is pretty. It is not for me, but I will keep it until I can find someone else to give it to. Maybe this will be part of another giveaway set that I do, where I just get a whole mishmash of different yarns that are beautiful. So if I really hate it, or if I really don't like it, if I really find it, if I would never, you know when you touch it and you're like, no. If it was like that, then I would probably send it to an op shop or a thrift store or something and just bump it out, because I don't believe in having anything here that I don't love. So I don't, this is not that bad. This is something that would stay up there until I can find someone who I like enough to give it on to. Does that make sense? So it's not a cast off, it's just a not for me, but I'm waiting for someone better to walk in and take it. So this, sorry, my cat is running around. So this is, this was a couple of months ago. It's nice. It's just not for me. Then I will show you some other. I'm trying to think about what order to do this in, because I haven't thought about this very well before I did it. So this is the Malabrigo. It's popping out. This is the Malabrigo crate, Knit Crate combination. So Malabrigo, Knit Crate gets like a Malabrigo partnership, and they sell Malabrigo yarns in like a subscription, same as the typical Knit Crate ones. I'm in love with this. This is so spot on and perfect, and just I love it. Love. This is called Indonesia. It is like a beautiful dark blue, teal, green, purple, splendid gorgeousness that I've been to Indonesia, guys. I've been to Bali, like every other Australian, and this is spot on. This is the forests of Ubud. This is the beaches in Kuta. This is, well, the nice bits. This is glorious. I love this so much. This is done well. This is beautiful. Now I already love the Malabrigo crates. I have their other ones from last time that I did this, and I opened it with Mum. So I do like, this one is a bit more fairy floss, unicorn threw up kind of happiness, whereas this dark moody is just beautiful. If I went into a store, I would not buy this one, and I would definitely buy this one. I'm not unhappy that I have this one, but I'm so happy I have this one. It's so pretty. So I just kind of want to wear it on my head. wear it everywhere I go, dance with it, knit with it. I don't even want to knit with it yet. I just want to look at it. You know when it's so good, you just want to stare at it for a little bit. Now, I obviously love plants. I've got quite a few around, and I've got some more in the corner. I love them, so I'm thinking of something leafy, botanical, natural, organic to kind of come out of this, which I just think would be spot on. It's so pretty. It's so beautiful. So this is Malibu Grey Worsted. It's a superwash, which I've found another YouTuber. Oh no, I can't remember her name. She's amazing. I'll post her in here and then below. She's Danish and a designer, and she's setting up her own yarn, and what is her name? It's really hard to say, but she's just beautiful. And she is a massive fan of natural yarns, and so she did a recent YouTube video where she talked about different kinds of yarn and different like the way that superwash is made. And I think because I didn't really look into it before, but after what she told me on her YouTube, I'm a lot more inclined to not like superwash. But I mean, when it's this beautiful, who can complain? This one's half falling apart, but who can complain? Yes. Okay. So the other subscriptions I've been getting, I've got one more knit crate that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you at the end because it's like more recent of what I've been doing rather than just what I've been collecting. So another dyer that I love, and I obviously love her because we just partnered up for my cow. So she dyed the yarn for my cow that I designed. I keep getting those words mixed up. She is called Jane from Tiny Toadstool Cottage. I've talked about her many, many, many times, and I will not stop because I think she's incredible. She was doing the Banned Books Club, where she would dye up these skeins and then she would release them based on books that have been banned in the past. And I just think, like, they're so amazing. And excuse me, yawning. I have not caught up on my sleep from school at all. So some of the ways that she interprets is just beautiful and classic, and I really, really love what she does. So she then decided to do another subscription, which I'm so excited for. And this was the fairy tale edition. So you can go into Etsy, and she's got, she should still have spots available because it's towards the beginning of the month. And go in and have a look at what she's got because she's absolutely incredible. But this is the first one that she did. And is it not perfect? So this is a Little Mermaid, which, I mean, of course it is. This one is in the fairy fingering, and it's 70% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 5% silver stellina. Now, if I'm just going to contrast, this is 10% stellina, and it's like glitzy. This is 5%, and it's like shimmery. So I definitely think that this is the perfect amount for me. I love in-your-face stuff, but I love a little subtle sparkle. And this colorway is called I Will Dare Everything, and the mini is called Rose Red. So this is absolutely perfect for Ariel. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just want to look at it and hug it. It's so beautiful, guys. Oh, just amazing. Then she dyed up the next month, which is Beauty and the Beast, which is this one. I like it. I find it a lot more beast, and I would have liked it to be a bit more belle, but that's just my opinion. And it came with a mini, which was blue. No, gold. This one here. To go with these two. And I do think that this is the perfect one to go with this. I've got my minis in my little pot there. And the stitch marker that this one has come with, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that perfect? It is so Beauty and the Beast. It's so Belle. That is probably my favorite bit of this. I'm not a brown, and I've said that before. I'm not a brown person, but I do love the mustard. I love the way that she's interpreted Beauty and the Beast. It's not my favorite, but I love the classic colors in here. So again, one that I probably won't make, but I will definitely be happy to pass on. And this month is, where is, whoop. Sorry, dropping everything. These two and this one. And as I'm sure you can tell, this is Little Red Riding Hood. So this is a classic story that I have loved a lot in my childhood. Maybe it's because I don't like Beauty and the Beast much. I just don't resonate with it. But I definitely resonate with Little Red Riding Hood a lot more. I don't know why, but I do. So this comes with a little wolf charm. Can you, hello? Focus on that. Hello? No. Touchscreen computer won't focus. So it's a little wolf charm. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I like how I think this is a self-striping, if I'm correct, which would be perfect for socks. Now we all know I don't need socks, but I will find something good for this because I really like it, and I would definitely make something pretty out of it because it's so cute. So those are my recent stash acquisition from Knit Crate and Tiny Toadstool Cottage. There is one more, so I'm just going to reach behind and get it. Excuse me. Okay, so this is my attempt at dyeing using a natural dye. Now, I've never dyed before. I've never dyed before. I'm sure dyers use that joke all the time, but it's not very funny, but I like it. So this was a whole process. I knew that you could dye with avocado, and I was really tempted to see how. I've never done it, and I was just really curious. It's been on my wish list to try natural dyeing for a long time. Do I love the end product? Yes, because I made it. Would I purchase it? No. So if I saw it in a shop, would I appreciate that someone else had done it? If I knew that it was naturally dyed, yeah, maybe. But would I personally be like, yeah, I have to get this? Nah, it's not. It's nice, and I'm proud of myself, but it's not something that I would go out and buy. However, I do have a plan for a way to design with this. So I'm tempted to see where my brain takes itself. Okay, so this is avocados. So in Australia, we have a big culture with avocados. We eat a lot of them. There was a joke going on a couple of years ago that people in my generation and millennials could not afford to buy houses because we eat too much smashed avo on toast, because avocados are about $5. You generally get 2 for $5 or about 1 for $5. So they're not cheap. But I love them. I love avocado. I love good guacamole. It's good. So I was buying a couple, and I decided to try. I knew that this was coming. So this was from Knit Crate. There was a problem with COVID and shipping out all of their subscription packages in time. And so they basically said, look, we're not going to be able to get it to you what we planned. So instead, why don't you dye your own? And so they sent these empty hanks, or these blank hanks out as a contrast. The colour was something more like this. So you can see that dye really has taken to it in some areas, and some areas less so. So they sent out these blank skeins and some Kool-Aid. Now, I've never drunk. I don't like cordial. I don't like Kool-Aid. And I didn't want to really do it. Plus, I want to try it with avocados. So instead, I collected some avocados and I put the skins and the pits into a freezer. And so I just kind of kept adding to my little freezer container. And then by the end of it, the container couldn't fit anymore. So I had them in a plastic bag, which is pretty exciting. So there was maybe 8, I think. I had 8 or 9 pits. And some of the skins I couldn't use, but others I could. So I Googled how to dye with avocados. And I found a couple of really cool websites that I'll put down below. Is it Rebecca Dresnos? I think that's her name. Who does the naturally, like, botanically dyeing. And she's pretty amazing, and she talks a lot about dyeing with natural substances and things around that you find out in nature. And so I've always been amazed by what she does, and I really wanted to give it a go. So when I knew this was an opportunity, because I wouldn't go out and buy bare skeins myself, but when I knew this was an opportunity that I would be able to get to do, I was so excited. And so yesterday, I dyed these up. So this one I put in for maybe 40 minutes. And this one would have been about an hour and a little bit. So by the time I took this one out, I don't feel like it really made a difference between the two skeins. So if I really compare the two, I did try and mix them around, but you can see where some bits were on the bottom a bit more than, say, on the top, where that dye really, or where the liquid could really get into it. So I simmered the avocados for maybe 3 hours, and then I turned off the heat. I made sure I didn't boil it. I turned off the heat and I let it rest for like that night. Then the next day, went out for breakfast. And then I came home. I love holidays. And then I came home and I chucked these in. So I've let the dye heat up again. I soaked the skeins in just regular tap water, which is the water I was using the whole time, for maybe 10 minutes. It was meant to be 5, but, you know, I made toast. And so you can really see where there's some of that difference, which I actually really like. I like that. And then I put them in for the different times, and then I took them out. I rinsed them. They're still a little bit wet, so they're probably not as dry as I would like them to be. And then I have hung them up. It is winter in Australia, so even though it's nice and sunny, it has also only been 17 degrees as our hottest. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I'm so sorry. But cold enough that I'm wearing a jumpery top thing. So yeah, I love the effort that I went to. Like I said, I probably wouldn't go and buy these from a shop. It's too dull and muted for me to reach out for. But I really like what I've done. And I have here. This is some yarn that I got from when I went to Latvia. So funny story that goes with this, as I try and open it. I was walking around. Now, my whole family knows that I'm obsessed with knitting, as they should, and they knew that I would, of course, be looking for some wool to purchase on my trip. And so we went to this beautiful district. My cousin found it for us because she speaks Latvian, and me and my family don't. Well, my dad does, but not. He speaks it colloquially, so not professionally, which I feel like there is a big difference. And he doesn't really know how to say, you know, wool store or yarn store. Because being a 50-something-year-old white male, it's not in his wheelhouse. He prefers tennis. Not that men can't knit, but my dad doesn't. So he, my cousin found this beautiful store for us to go to, and she and I went looking. And I found this absolutely beautiful, like, white dream material. So this is 30% mohair. No. Yes. 30% mohair, 70% polyamide, white sparkly. And this one is, it feels very plastic. It feels very polyamide. You can feel that. It's also very sparkly, but it's also very mohair. So I like the fluff, the cloudiness. So when I went there, I saw this, and I also saw some plain white, which is, I think, similar makeup, just less sparkles. Itchy nose, sorry. And so I asked for, don't even know how much, just an amount. Just give me an amount. And the poor lady, it was her first day, and she'd never used an electric winder before. And because, I mean, obviously, I asked for a lot. I don't even know what I was thinking about, but I was like, get enough forever. So I definitely have enough to last me forever. But the poor thing, she just started the winding machine, and then it just went feral. And she was like, come back in like an hour. And we came back in an hour, and the poor thing's almost in tears, and there's just yarn everywhere. And I'm like, what is happening? It looked like a spider had just attacked her and tried to like spin webs, like one messed up Spider-Man. And she was just so upset. And I feel so terrible that she was so worried. And of course, like I was like, no, like it's fine, don't worry about it. What can I do to help you? Because your poor thing looks like you've been attacked by a bunch of spiders. And she ended up giving me quite a bit of this for free, which is beautiful. And it's another lovely memory of Latvia that I have of being attacked by silk or polyamide spiders. So what I'm thinking of doing is a shawl. I've got a design in my head. I couldn't get to sleep until about 2:00 last night. And one of the reasons why is because my brain was like, hey, look at the wool you just dyed. Let's think about a design to do it. Yeah, what if we do circles? How do you knit in circles? And I'm like, I don't know how to knit in circles. And it was like, yeah, but it has to be a crescent shawl, but with circles. So my brain is helpful. But I'm thinking of doing... How do I do this? How do I show you? Let's pull out a beautiful strand. Thinking of doing a shawl where I actually hold those together. If you can see that. And I do something like that. So I'll do sections where it's just the fluff and sections where it's both. And it would be like a 3 skein shawl. Well, really 2, but then 1 with the mohair. Mohair's always longer because it's lace weight. Yes, not that I have enough to do, but now my brain is designing more. I actually had to go and buy a... let's put this down. I had to go and buy a journal because I've got so many designs in my head that I can't think of enough, and I have to draw them all down and I can't draw. It's going to be fun. But I love that I've got so many ideas. So thank you for your support in my ideas. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. Then what I've been knitting. Okay, so work. I don't want to keep harping on about work because knitting is separate to work for me, but knitting is fun and sometimes work isn't. But I've just been exhausted, so I can't stop yawning. I've been sleeping until like 11 most days. I'm just trying to regain my rest. I think towards the end of the term, life got tough. So I am Christian, and I do believe in the Bible and Jesus and all of that. I don't like to talk about it too much because I feel like it's a personal thing, and a lot of Christians that I have met like to push it down someone else's throat, which I have a big problem with. So I will not do that for you. But there is a parable or a couple of like times. So back when Jesus was talking to people, it was a very agrarian or farmer society. And one thing that he was saying is, you've got to, like, you sow the seed and then you water it and then you harvest it, then you reap it. And it's like that is what always gets in your mind, like the planting and then the watering and then the reaping and then the planting and the watering, the reaping. And that's always good. It's hard, but it's good. But I feel like I'm in the tilling stage or the ploughing stage, which is where they basically dig up the dirt and dig up all its difficulties. And that's hard. So, yeah, I've been a bit quiet lately because I've just been trying to find my calm, find my center, my zen, my happy place, my whatever you want to call it, and just reconnect in. And so one thing that always makes me feel really good is being generous and giving. So I am. And one of the girls at work is pregnant. One of the ladies, not students, that very different. One of the ladies I work with is pregnant, and I'm so excited for her. She's going to be such a good mum. And so I made her a few things, and I will show you the two of them because they're so little and so cute. I'm very clucky. I need to not be so clucky because I don't want kids yet, but I just like babies. I think my cousin having her baby has not helped. So Nat, I don't know if I already told you, but Nat gave birth to a 9-pound baby. 9 pounds! That is huge. That's like a watermelon and a bit. Like, and I had made things for this beautiful baby, Willow. My niece is called Willow, and I love it. So I made all these beautiful baby clothes for winter, thinking that it was going to be 3 to 6 months, and thinking, that she'll grow into it. And they live over in Brisbane, so on the east coast, and they don't really get a big winter season, but thinking she's a baby, babies can always do with a nice little jumper, even if it's a singlet and a jumper, it'll be good. And Nat gets home from the hospital and puts her baby inside what I've knit her, which is 3 to 6 month size, and it fits. Big baby. I'm very scared of childbirth. Big baby. Big baby. So, my friend Shana is a lot smaller than my cousin was, but also very cute. And so I do think like her sisters just had a baby as well, and that was quite big. So maybe Shana's will be, but I think Shana's will be smaller. Basically, I'm knitting stuff for Shana's baby. And I have no idea about sizing anymore because I don't know what sizes babies comes out because my cousins came out at a 3-month age. Yeah, so I knit things. I have made her, I'll show you that last. Okay. Now, I haven't sewn these up because I hate sewing. Oh my God, I hate sewing. I'm going to talk about it even more in a minute. But these are little baby booties. Aren't they so cute? They're like little baby booties. I cannot remember where I got this pattern from, but I will of course link it. And they are just so adorable. So they're garter stitch ones. The only seam is going to be at the back. When you're sewing, I did a 3 needle bind off because I'm not a big fan of Kitchener. I just find my fingers get in the way. And it's, with a baby foot in, it'll be a bit nicer. I figured at this age, they're not going anywhere, so there's no weight to be put on it. But if I did, the pattern said I could either do it like with the same inside or the same outside. And I thought I would do it with the same outside because even though it's not as beautiful, it would be less likely to irritate the baby's foot. So I don't know much about babies clearly, but I don't want to irritate babies' feet because they seem like a very important thing to keep on a baby. And so I thought this would be nicer if I just did it this way. This is a really cool construction. You cast on 16 of the this, and then you knit all the way down it until a certain point, and then you pick up these stitches and then you knit this way, and the foot construction, so it's all out flat, and then you shape the top of the foot construction just with increases and decreases, and then you do a little bit of garter and then you sew them together. So I just found it was really cool. It's like an all-in-one thing. It's so cool. I'm really happy with this pattern. If there's more babies in my life, I would definitely make these again because it's really cute. So very much do recommend this. And then this one, this is what I keep making my housemate stop and look, and she's like, cool. Like, okay, like you haven't changed much. But I'm like, no, but look at it, it's so cute. So this is, it's like a little English. It's a little baby romper. Isn't it so beautiful? It's so little, and it's got like it's like little puffy for the nappy. You can tell I don't have kids. I'm excited about nappies. This is proof I don't have children. But I thought that the buttons were absolutely perfect. Do it sideways so you can actually see the whole thing. and it's like little overalls or a little romper. I absolutely love it. And one of the coolest things is I asked my amazing friend, incredible human, Anna, from Stitchcraft and Wizardry to hand dye this. Now, I am terrified of yellow. There was the whole debacle with Beth's scarf where I was like, no, the yellow's too yellow and the green's too green and I can't do it. And so we were talking over WhatsApp, and she was like, we were like recording messages to each other, and she sent this a picture of the yarn all skeined up. And she said to me, you could just do one layer. Like you're meant to do like maybe 3, I think, 2 or 3. She goes, I only did 1 for you because I know you don't like yellow. And she's training me, because then I said, can you please go one darker? And she was like, yes, that's where it should be. So she's slowly pushing me into the realms of yellows. I mean, I think anything Anna does is absolutely magic anyway, which is the Stitchcraft and Wizardry, because it is magic. But I love how it's not flat. It's not one-dimensional. It's not one color. You can see there are shades and sheens and delicate movement, and it's perfect. It's so perfect. So we don't know who baby is. We don't know if he's a boy or a girl. If she's a boy or a girl. We don't know what. I can't say it. They. We don't know what they are, because it's an inanimate object, and it's definitely not it. So we don't know what they are. But I think they're going to look so beautiful in this. And then. So I haven't made the beanie, which I'm going to soon. But Shana, so it all started because Shana asked me to knit a beanie for her partner. And they're doing like a baby shower of Where the Wild Things Are. And so they wanted a beanie for him. And so I knit this really cool brown beanie, just a flat beanie with little ears. And so I'm going to do, no one tell Shana, but I'm going to do one for her as well, and a little one for baby. And it's going to, so his is brown with white in the ears. Then I'm going to do a white one with brown in the ears for her. And then I'm going to do 2 ones for the baby, so they can choose if it's a boy or a girl. Yes. So I need to do that and finish that off. I've already given her the boy beanie, like the dad beanie. So I need to get knitting and do the next ones. But Shana loves baseball. She's amazing at baseball, and that's how like a lot of her life revolves around baseball. So I thought, well, what if I made a beanie for her baby in white and then did red stitching like a baseball? And I thought that'd be really cute. But then I thought, why not make a little jacket as well? So I was surfing Instagram, and I saw, is it French knits or little French knits or something along those lines? I think this one is from Petite Knitter, the little baby or baby brother romper. Little brother romper, something like that. Very plain, because I didn't know if they are a boy or a girl, so I wanted to make sure it was unisex. And then so I was just continuing to scroll, and Instagram the algorithm is showing me a lot more baby stuff, which is not helping my cluckiness. And I found this really cool jumper which crosses over, so it's got like an insert on the left and then crosses over on the right, and it buttons down here. And I thought, like, it was shown in white. Yeah, in white. And I was like, you know what? That's beautiful. What if I do it in different colours? So when I asked Anna to dye up all the yarn, I asked her to do 2 of yellow, 2 of grey, and 2 of white. And she said, instead of doing white, I'm just going to give you the natural skeins because it's easier, and that way I don't have to bleach anything. And I was like, yep, perfect, spot on, and it's the perfect colour. So I've made this. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is the little jumper, and so this is the white. So it's got this really cool stitch pattern, which is just a pearl stitch every now and again. But I thought the texture adds to the interest and makes it less boring, but also still really unisex. Then the sleeves, again, you can see it's hand dyed. You can see it is no flat. This is not commercial. This is beautiful. Anna, you are a magician. I don't want to say a witch, but seriously close to it. Oh, so beautiful. And then this is the same yellow as the little romper. So these go same colour. And then the same buttons as well. So if I can open the buttons, the button holes are a bit tight. So okay, this is my whinging session, or section, because I whinge all the time. I've been listening to the Knitmore Girls for a while now. I love the mother-daughter duo. They remind me a little bit of me and my mum, and how we get along. And so, it just makes me really happy. And one thing that Jasmine says, the daughter on Knitmore Girls, one thing she says a lot is, I love mattress stitch. You just go zzz, and it just goes whoosh and just zooms up. Now, I'm sorry. Whatever planet you're on, Jasmine, come to mine and zoom it up for me, because this took me forever. So, you have to knit the back, then you knit the front, the left front, then you knit the right front, then you knit the sleeves. No worries. Sleeves are higher at the back than are at the front, I think. Or the front than at the back, I don't know. Higher at one end. You got to paste them together. But it doesn't, like, the one flaw of the pattern that I found is it doesn't have really good schematics. And it didn't have good instructions for how to kind of put everything together. And so you have to sew them all together. And I'm not good at sewing. Like, really, I mean, look at my fabric pile. This is relatively untouched. I have not really done much with my sewing, which I needed to. And I want to, but I haven't. And so I have been sewing this for a while. And it's finally done. Now, there's an end. Damn it. I have to deal with that. So, random sidetrack. My dad's grandmother was an amazing knitter. And she would mattress stitch all of her things because, of course, back then they didn't knit in the round. They just knit on straights and then sewed everything up. And so her stitches, her seams are impeccable. Like, they look machine done. It's amazing. And so I've seen this incredible hand-me-downs, these heirlooms, these family heirlooms that we've got. And I wanted to challenge myself to knit something as good as that, because I knew that this baby deserves something beautiful. And that, you know, if Shana does have more, that maybe this jacket will be used for more than just one. And, you know, it's important. So I'm just going to brag for a second. Check out how perfect those seams are. For someone who has mattress stitched once before, not done a very good job. Look at that. It's smooth. It's not ridged. It's just enough. A couple of ends peeking out, but that's okay. It is good. It is good. So I am very proud of myself for this because I feel like I worked very hard. I also knit the sleeves on and then realised I did them backwards and then went, nah, she'll be right, and kept going, and then realised she won't be right, and so I had to undo them and then redo them. So this jacket, I hope it's loved, because I have genuinely loved putting it together. I have stopped and ummed and ahed at it a lot, but the sewing of it has been difficult. Then you have to pick up from down here all the way up, all the way across and across and across to here for the collar. And it says go into smaller needles, but I couldn't find my smaller needles, so I just did it the same size. And then it didn't tell you a ratio of how much to pick up. So I feel like I've picked up a bit more than maybe I should have, but I also didn't want it to bunch in. I wanted it to still be relaxed. The problem is it's a bit flirty. Like it's a bit too much. It's not structured enough, but I don't actually mind it in all. Like, it doesn't really bother me. But if I did it again, I would make it a little bit tighter. Like, I would pick up less stitches along here. But that's a note for myself next time. Yes, so this is the beautiful little baby jacket that I am rather obsessed with, and I have finished. And I have one more end to weave in that I just found out. And then, a couple of beanies, and Bob's your uncle. There we go. She'll be happy as pie. So I'm loving this and I'm so excited for my friend's baby to pop out and so I can say hello to them. Okay, last thing. So the sun is setting. It's beautiful golden hour. I look very glamorous and gorgeous in this reflected sun. And one more thing to show you. Sorry, reaching too far. Okay. Now, it's been a while. So I haven't really kept you up to date with what's going on because what happened with this was at the same time as the Black Lives Matter movement, and I just didn't feel right complaining about my knitting when that is being at the forefront. You know, like, pick your battles, pick your priorities, Astrid. And it just seemed really insignificant to me and little. And so I didn't want to talk about my issues because as a privileged white woman, picking up or re-knitting things versus systemic injustices and racism is not really on the same playing field. So I think I did a little Instagram story and then that was it. So yeah, I didn't bother. Okay, this is the scarf for Beth, and this is in 2-color brioche. It has a I-cord cast on, and it is 447 stitches to cast on. And it is really, really, really fun. So I started it with the green cast on, but then I realized I was knitting it backwards because I wanted the yellow to be at the forefront because I just think that is beautiful. It actually complements my skin tone, which I'm super excited about, which means if Beth hates it, even though it's her birthday present, if she hates it, I get it. But she doesn't, she likes it. So, you know, I can steal it sometimes. This is also a little stitch marker that Anna gave me when she dyed up the other wool. So I thought I would add it on because I love tassels. It's so cute. So this is, it's a brioche scarf, and I am basically learning how to do brioche shaping while knitting a scarf for one of my really good friends. So if that's not enough pressure for you, I don't know what is. She also watches me when I do it because she sits on the couch with me. So pressure. But it is starting to come together. So there's little decreases starting to come up. So I did the first round of them last night. So this is a 5-stitch decrease, where they point into that initial one. And then as you keep going, this is a 5-stitch increase. So it's going to be, I don't want to say it too loud because she's out there, but it's going to be to do with the Colosseum. And this is called Meet Me in Italy because we were meant to go to Italy. And so this is kind of a replacement, which of course it's not, but that way she can wear it when we do go to the Colosseum together. And so I'm really excited about this. I think it is absolutely beautiful. But basically I started it and then I got up to this point and then realized, actually I got up further than this point, but I'm too impatient, so I'm just going to start it from now. The decreases and design bit from now. But I got up to, I think it was 43 rows, and then realized that the way that I was going to be doing it would not be correct and would actually show really badly. So I undid it. All of it. The whole thing. And it hurt a lot. But I've been working on it slowly and surely, and now it is up to the really cool bit, and I can't wait to see how my design in my head comes out on here. I've still got other designs that I'm working on. I've got, sneak peek, I don't know if Sarah watches the videos the whole way through, but I've got my beautiful best friend who I'm a bridesmaid to, and so I thought I would make her and her partner matching scarves, or like similar scarves. So I've still got this one, which again was hand dyed by Anna for me. And it's a little bit less pink. It's more that color. But it is really fun. It's beautiful lace. And then it gets up to here. And so his scarf is going to mostly be, hang on, that's the wrong side. This is the right side. There we go. I was wondering why it looked so weird. There we go. So this is the beautiful lace, which, oh my isn't that beautiful? Oh, I'm so obsessed. And then it gets up to this kind of even part. And so his is going to be even a more muted version. It's not going to have the crossover, but his is going to be a version of this. And I'm starting to get really obsessed with these standout stitches over, or like traveling stitches over a plain background. So I've got a few more designs in my head kind of to do with that. So stay tuned and we'll just see where this takes me, because guys, I've got 5 designs. I've got your support, which means the world to me. My students have now made sure I've got 101 subscribers, which is super cute. Not that they knit, but they are supportive and that's what matters. The sun is setting on a beautiful day and the world is going to get better. I have to believe that. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today and watching me shop and finding all the new things. And if you like this, I hope that you like and subscribe. Share it if you feel the need to, and get other friends in, because I would love to grow this platform and talk more about what I can do and what you can do and share more money with these charities and just grow. So thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'll see you next time. Bye.